What's up, guys, and welcome back to our weekly market watch. And we're going to be going over some few points, recapping our last week's video. And first things first, we want to look at some crypto news, looking at the CBDCs, what some of the banks are saying about cryptocurrencies, and also what made the market drop again, which was, I think, on Friday, the end of the week, and see what caused it. And what are people saying regarding the crypto currently at the market. Then I'm going to be looking at a brief touch on something very, very new, NFTs, and what are they, where can we read up on them, and look a little bit deeper into what a NFT is. Then I want to jump into our Ilus stock, okay, the actually international company, the stock, have a look at it, where it's going. And then we can jump and look at our Ilus token, our coin, and recap on price and see where we could be going in this coming weeks. Then we're going to be jumping into our trades. I want to look at our charts, look at our major cryptocurrencies, and then we can be focusing on some stocks, NASDAQ, possibly some oil and silver I want to look at as well, and see what we can be looking at for this coming week. So let's jump into it, guys. And we're going to be looking at some news that I've been seeing. First of all, HSBC, they're talking obviously about crypto again, and they're saying that the global stablecoin concerns calling for regulation to be equivalent to its adoption level. So a lot of talk again on another bank last week, or was the European bank, and they're saying that maintains a skeptical stance on cryptocurrencies while promoting the development of central bank digital currencies. So they're saying that our major cryptos, let's say like BTC, is not stable, and they are wanting to promote, okay, and look at creating their own development of central bank digital currencies. So there's still a lot of concerns about it. And even here, which was the last one about the ECB president talking that, you know, it's unregulated. People are wanting, the big banks and governments are not going to let a cryptocurrency be off the radar, you know, unregulated. It's just not what they are wanting. Okay, so we need to just always keep that in mind, especially with risk buying into cryptocurrencies. It's not going to be just going up all the time. We need to make sure and tread lightly. Don't put everything into a asset like BTC or cryptocurrency. We need to be trading and risking accordingly. So that was something I've seen, HSBC, on cointelegraph.com. There's also another article which was on, I think it was Crypto News. So Crypto News, quite a lot of this, and this was due to the market drop that we saw on Friday, I think it was, and cryptonews.com, also same article. There's over 3 platforms, and it's saying here that the Chinese is trying to clamp down. They're trying to clamp down again on our, you know, major cryptocurrencies. And it says here, along with a group of ministries, financial regulators, and national level courts has issued a joint statement confirming a hard line stance on crypto, and perhaps wrongly for stablecoin issuers will be the fact that parties have mentioned Tether, okay, USDT by name, and warned that overseas exchanges that target Chinese customers could face punishment. So there's a lot of crackdown on from China, okay, and we have another one back over at Cointelegraph, same thing. They are trying to continue battling their, you know, lockdown on cryptocurrencies. So this talk of that causing markets to drop, this could be, you know, China has been, you know, saying a few mentions about this in the past, but with the talk of this, with our markets, we're going to be going over this could see us driving price down for our major cryptocurrencies. So again, we need to always just tread lightly. Price is not going to be going up all the time. Another article, investing.com, Chinese regulators unite forces to crack down on crypto. So this was, when this was released, we saw the cryptocurrency and we saw the price drop down again. So talks of the China, talks of, the bigger banks, now HSBC, looking to, regulate our cryptocurrencies and create their own, is definitely something we need to keep on our radar when we are looking to invest in these cryptocurrencies. So the newest thing that's been popping up and being blown up in the crypto industry and in that same circle, tokens, crypto, is NFTs. And these new things that are coming up, and the article that sparked my interest was on cnbc.com, and it's very great because it goes over what is an NFT first of all, and how can we purchase one, how can we make one and create one, and go about that process. So first of all, something that is mind-boggling, this artist goes by the name of Beeple, made headlines earlier this month, and I think this was back in March, when he sold a non-fundable token for $69 million. Okay, so absolutely crazy. So what is an NFT? It's a new type of digital asset. Okay, ownership is recorded on a blockchain, a digital ledger similar to networks that underpin Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So they're very, very unique, can't be duplicated. So you can think of them as a digital item nobody else owns. Okay, and we can see that on this where to buy. Okay, it even gives you areas, and OpenSea is one of them. Okay, OpenSea is one of them. You can search, you can browse them, and what they are is it's like an online gallery where you can browse digital art, trading cards, and other collectibles. There's even, I've seen a big celebrity that I follow, Gary Vaynerchuk, and he's also big in NFTs, mentioning this is going to be one of the next big thing coming. And you can have baseball cards that could be an NFT, anything really that you can upload yourself, and it works like with a bid. So like an auction house where you offer bids on items. Hope you're the winner, but some listings you can buy now for a set price, and then this gives you step-by-step guide how to create a digital wallet, and how to buy Ether, which is Ethereum, and go about that place. So very, very interesting NFTs, guys, something to also keep on your radar. It's just been blowing up, and people are buying NFTs for millions and millions of dollars currently. So NFT, something to watch. So jumping on to our next topic. And the Ilus coin, which we went over last week, and we'll be jumping into the charts and having a look at that. And then Ilus International. Okay, Ilus International, the public company, we're going to be looking at that stock. So let's jump into our Ilus coin. Okay, and this is over at poocoin.app. And this is the current price of this token that we are seeing right now. So currently our chart, okay, we have our trend is going to the downside. So we just need to keep note of that. My last week analysis, recapping on this, we were sitting at around our 0.21, 0.22 level. and we can see that we are having a bit of a breakout. Okay, we are having a breakout. If we look at an indicator, look at a moving average, for instance, and we make this a 50 MA, right? That's a moving average, 50-day moving average, and we can see we are currently below it. Okay, we've broken down, we've retested that area of around 0.25, and we are now coming to this critical level, which I mentioned last week. We are at that support. If we have a clean break through it, what we could see is price coming through, closing below. If that happens, then we should have the retest back up and seeing price go lower. However, if price is going lower, that's not a bad thing. We always mustn't think that price is going lower, that it's doing bad. It gives us opportunity to then buy in at a lower price, and then hopefully we can start seeing price push up and correlate to our Ilus International public company, which we'll be going over shortly. So for now, my analysis on the coin, Ilus coin, is if we have this clean break, we could potentially see price coming down to our 0.15 level from there. However, though, if we don't have this break and this push right through, we could, however, just have a bit of a fake out and then see our price move back up to our resistance level of around 0.29. So for now, price is looking like we are breaking to the downside, potentially making it to our 0.15, but we'll have to keep track and then recap next week and see where our price could be. But trend is down, we're below our 50 EMA. We look like we are breaking the support at 0.21. So my week, going into this week, we could potentially see a 0.15 on the cards for this coin. Let's jump over to our trading view, and we want to look at the Ilus International public company. And this stock, guys, is something you need to be putting on your radar as well. It's absolutely been flying to the moon. And if you are on trading view, it will be under Ilus. Okay, and if we have a look at this chart currently, we can see it is just flown. Okay, and from the beginning of this month, okay, we have pushed up around 320%, right? From the beginning of September up to now, we've gained 320% on this stock. So Ilus International is a public company. Ilus coin, okay, is the coin, right? That is part of backed by Ilus International, and obviously the creator, the CEO, Nicholas Link, as I mentioned from last week. So Ilus International, a stock to keep on our radar. And if we just have a look at where we could potentially get in for a buy, it might take a bit of time to get to these areas. If we have a look at the daily time frame, right, we can see that we could have this resistance here at around 0.40, okay, 0.40. And in that case, I would like to see price coming back potentially to our 50 EMA, okay. As we start to pull back up, we could see price coming back to these levels of around 0.20, where I would then look to reinvest and potentially see price going up. So for now, we are very, very high. We've had a big push to the upside. 320% growth is crazy. So right now, our intraday move on Ilus International, we are high, and it does look like we could see price pulling back to our area of around 0.32 for Ilus International. So for now, if you're wanting to be buying into this group, we should rather wait. We are very, very high. If I have a look at my stochastics, we are very, very overextended, and potentially we can see the push further down. Let's look at the daily time frame. We can see they're both high. Stochastics coming down, RSI very, very overextended, and we could both see these pushing back down to the bottom. So for now, we're going to hold off, something to watch, something to keep on our radar. Very, very interesting how this stock has literally just skyrocketed this month. So let's take a look at some of our setups, and we'll look at our cryptocurrencies, the majors, and then we're going to be jumping into some forex pairs as our bonus, okay, which I will go over a bit of NASDAQ, bit of silver, bit of oil, something to be watching as well on our radar, and looking at our dollar as well. So let's jump over to our trading view. And look at our majors. And first things first, what I want to show you guys, which is quite interesting, if we look at the dollar index, all right, the dollar index, and let's go over BTC first, and then I'll jump into this once we've gone over our majors. So BTC, last week, okay, when we did our video, we said that structure, okay, on the daily or weekly, I mentioned that we could have this turn with the news, with China trying to lock down, cryptocurrencies, which is dropping price further. As mentioned, my further projection, we could see BTC down to 20,000. It is possible. We can't not think that it's not possible. All right, we are having that rejection on the weekly. We could see price pushing down and breaking our lows. Okay, we could see price coming all the way back down to first 35, then potentially 20. Okay, so we need to keep that in mind. Make sure that our news, if we have this news coming out like this could be creating the push further down on cryptocurrencies. So daily trend, and what I mentioned for last week. So just to recap, our structure currently, okay, on the daily is we are breaking these structures. We have broken the lows, okay, prices coming back, pulling back up, creating that lower high, breaking structure again, breaking the lows. So 4 hour or daily, sorry, we are showing a bearish trend, but we can see that we have potentially recovered, okay, and this is recovered as an intraday, possibly a week or this month we could just recover slightly. But again, don't want to keep my hopes up and see that we are in this range. This would be my high. If we were going to push up above 48 around there price, I'm going to be potentially looking to see price might reverse in the zone of around 52, 53 again. So this is where I'm looking at. We are having the support. 4-hour time frame is a little bit clearer, and what could be seen is we could see price now from the section move up and potentially going back into our 50, 51 mark. So that's what I do see currently, but as mentioned, the trend is down. Okay, we could even pop back up to our 47, 48 and then see price reverse longer for now, but we are having that 4-hour daily support, and this could mean that for the intraday, the small maybe this week movement, we could be seeing a bit of bullish price action. So if we are looking to buy, then I would think about going in with a bit of small risk where we currently are, and potentially seeing price move up to our 48 and then possibly our 51, 52 mark for BTC. So that's BTC intraday. This week we could see a bit of bullish price movement back up to our 52 mark. Let's look at Ethereum, and again, not far behind BTC. We're having that similar price action. Again, I said my long-term opinion is that we are going to be going down to the lows on our majors, BTC, Ethereum, Ripple, which for long-term investments is not bad. If you are currently at the markets at these highs, we just need to tread lightly and rather take some profit when you can, as you have the push up. Again, look at your percentage. If you've put in, just giving you example, $100 and your percentage goes up to $300, okay, you've made a good return. Take some money out and then reinvest at your lows. So structure, again, like BTC, is showing downside. Okay, same. We are at the support, and price we could see coming back up for a short-term intraday move back up to 3.6, possibly 3.8. We have a bit of imbalance there, which we could fill, and there we need to be watching. If we do get price going up there in the next week or two, then we need to be cautious, okay, because we could see a bigger swing price down to the bottom. So again, intraday on Ethereum is price movement back up to 3.6, possibly 3.8, and then from there we'll have to re-look at it and then possibly see where we can go from there. So again, Ethereum, short term this week, we can possibly see some buys coming into the market. Ripple, one of my favorites, also same. This was also due to China talk. Again, we see that all three of these cryptocurrencies had a price drop. So for me as well, we could see some bullish price action. If we are looking to buy intraday this week, we could see a price movement from about 0.90 back up to our 0.13. Does look pretty good. We have got a bit of imbalance there we need to fill, and we could possibly see price coming back up to that wick of 1.24, right? 1.24. But again, my longer term vision is we could see price coming back to 0.50 or lower, okay, on these pairs. So those are your majors. We also looked at Cardano last week, and let's just go back into that, which is 88 USD, and we have it still up here. I would like price to obviously come lower back into that dip to see a potential long-term buying investment. Structurally, we are gaining a bit of resistance. Here. So we need to see if we do get the break above, we could potentially start going back up in the highs. But with this resistance here, as mentioned, price could be having the turn off and seeing the price coming down back down to our 2.0 mark. However, we did come back into a area there, which as mentioned, let's look at the 4-hour time frame. And 4-hour time frame does look like we could see a bit of bullish push. If we are going to get that, then I'm going to be then looking at least the price of around 250 to 2.53 for now, because we can see where we are sitting now. I would then see price potentially coming back up to there, taking out these highs back up to our 0.2 or 2.052 price. So that would be my intermediately right now. That's where I could see price be going this week. So something to look at. If we do come back to the lows, that could happen, but then I do see possibly a pushback up to 2.50 for now. So Cardona, one to watch. Intermediate this week, price possibly going back up to our 2.50 mark. All right, so keep that on your radar. Ilus coin, let's see where that's going to go this week. Ilus International, huge big push up. Let's wait for a bigger pullback on that. BTC intermediate this week. Let's look for some bullish buying pressure. Same with Ethereum, same with Ripple. We could see those small price movements coming back up in this week, possibly getting a bit of, that's why your fear chart is showing that it's possibly easing off. People are thinking, well, there's a bit more bullish price action coming, and they don't want to see price drop to the lows. So let's see how that works in this coming week. Cool. Guys, we're going to drop into some NASDAQ. Okay, looking at some forex pairs. We touched on Euro USD last week and a potential swing trade. We looked at NASDAQ, and I want to show you how both of those have played out. Okay, if you guys saw the video, we will then be able to see that there was a good percentage gain on both of those, NASDAQ and Euro USD. But I'm still looking at Euro USD. And first things first, something very interesting that I've been watching. If you go to the US dollar, and this is Vantage Point Trading, it's just a chart you can Google, dollar tendencies, seasonal tendencies. And if we look at our 33-year seasonal, and you will see there's a 33 and there's a 15-year. And we are currently now obviously coming into October. And in October, September, October, we can see that for dollar, okay, price is still currently bearish, but then from going from possibly the middle of October back up to December, dollar is starting to get bullish, So I still think we should be having this week a bit of bearish pressure on dollar. So if we jump back to the charts, and I want to go over our dollar index, and we look at the weekly time frame where we started last week, we can see that we are still stuck in this range. Okay, we haven't closed above it, we haven't pushed above it to show us that that bullish pressure intent that's wanting to be coming in there. Yes, we did have a strong pushback up to the highs, but what I'm potentially seeing is for now an intermediate price action of dollar coming back to our 92.7 mark. All right, so price pushing from here back down. All right, and what that could see is then if dollar's coming down, Euro USD is going to be going up. Okay, our cross pairs will be going up. And let's just take at our euro. We could potentially see even lower on dollar. We could see that going lower, which I would prefer, especially if we're going to be trading Euro USD like we are. So what I was looking for, okay, price was sitting at these areas. Okay, for our last video, price was sitting in a great area. We've had a big reaction. Okay, Thursday we had a big push to the upside, very big push to the upside. We have come back into the zone, and I'm going to be watching closely. Again, this is going to correlate to the dollar. If we have the dollar drop, which I'm expecting and hoping, we sort of have a reversal pattern sitting here. Okay, we have an inverse head and shoulders. We've come back into this area, and what we could see is price pushing up, breaking these highs, retesting, and then seeing these highs as mentioned, 1.9 taken out and back up to our at least 1.20 for our Euro USD. So something to watch. Could be a very good swing trade, and seeing us break out of this bearish trend. So something to watch Euro USD, I got that on my radar. GBP USD should be moving the same way. All right. And if I look at these areas, we had the exact same big reaction off these lows, but we're at a critical area. Okay. If we do push down, we could see us just breaking past the lows. So two scenarios. From this area, seeing it push back up, breaking the structure, retesting it, and then seeing the highs taken out back to 1.4. Or what we could see is price coming just low, just taking out this low slightly, and then seeing this play out back up to our 1.4 area. So keeping that on the radar. And the reason why I say that is we are coming back to these lows, and what sits at the bottom of these lows, big money, okay, big investors, and they want to rather push price into this zone to collect these monies, collect the buy orders and sell orders, and then move price where they want it to go. So Euro USD, GBP USD is still on my radar for the swing trade to the upside, and I'm going to be keeping that. So when I mentioned yesterday trade for Euro USD, we had came straight into our area that we wanted, and we had that percentage push up, all right, of around 0.5%. But I'm going to be watching again this week because we're back there. Could have this inverse head shoulders play out, which means we're at least going to be going back up to our 1.8 mark. So let's jump into NASDAQ, something that's always very interesting to watch. And from my last week's video, we looked at obviously how price dropped. Okay, we are still bullish on the daily time frame. We are still bullish. We have a higher low, price came push back, higher low, higher high, price has come back to our higher low mark. Where are we? 50 EMA. We have broken and closed above the 50 EMA again. Okay, and if you see here, price has been still above the 50 EMA. We tested it there. Price broke through, came back up, and we're now broken above the 50 EMA. So still bullish, still buys, but we just need to tread lightly as we have had that big drop, and price could be just coming back and pulling back to our mark of around 1.15. Let's say 1550. That's where we could be pushing to. So I still think upside, but going on my analysis from last week, guys, going back from my analysis from last week, price was sitting over here, okay, at around 1.510, and I said that price is going to be coming back to this region and then pushing back up to the highs. And we can see if we took the trade, we took the setup, we were up, right, from this area, we went up to around almost 3% on NASDAQ, right, 3% gain on that trade. So what are we looking at for this week for NASDAQ? Well, I still see upside. If we do come down, all right, if we look at structure currently, we want to be looking at these points, right? That would be your high, price comes back into higher low. We then push price back up to higher high. If we do come lower, we could potentially see price coming back to this range. Okay, if we do, I'm going to be then looking for a buy higher up to the mark of around 1550, as mentioned. That is what, if I'm going to have that bigger pullback, that's where we could see price coming back to 100 before we see a push up. Otherwise, what could happen is we could see we have a bit of support here. Price could just move up, taking out this high, all right, this week, and then seeing price make its way to 1550. So that's still my projection on NASDAQ, back up to 1550, and let's see how that plays out for this week. NASDAQ, one other one I wanted to watch was oil. Okay, oil, just for a reversal. If you guys like to trade and short the market, I just want to look at the weekly time frame, and you can see oil is pushed right back up. Okay, we've come back up to the highs where we were back in 2018. We can see we tapped it, and what could happen? Well, price could be at a critical reversal point. Okay, and what that means is, because we have these equal highs since 2018 and this year, July, we could see price just either come short or take it out and then see a reversal to the downside. And that's what I'm seeing for oil. Okay, I'm seeing a reversal to the downside. If we look at a daily time frame, a little bit clearer. As mentioned, price could, at this area, we could see a turnaround. We could see take out the highs first, then drop lower, or where we are currently sitting around 74.50, we could see price reverse and go back into these lows of around $64 a barrel for oil. So my predictions are still short on US oil, Brent crude oil. And we can see our stochastics, RSIs are very, very high, and that should also line up with the analysis that I did now. So most likely we're going to be taking out these highs first at 76 and then a reversal on the cards for US oil. One other one, silver. I want to go over silver. Not a lot of people look at silver. And this is XAG USD. And if we are looking at the markets, it looks a little bit clearer. What we could see is still a potential downside. Same for oil. We could have that swings, and I think with the whole risk investment at the home happening now across the world, stocks and shares, people are uncertain. UK are having saying that there's shortage on petrol. The media is trying to, is having that tactic again where we could potentially seeing things, stock shares, cryptocurrencies having that drop. Okay, remember the whole through lockdown, a lot of these commodities, NASDAQ, have just been going up. Okay, have just been rising, creating those huge gains. And we are due for a bigger pullback on these markets. So my look at silver. Currently we are selling, we are short. We have this price movement, but we've coming back to these areas, these critical areas, 22.0, 21.0. We are creating a bit of support, but because we have these equal lows here and price hasn't retested them again, what we could be doing is seeing price dip lower. If I zoom out a bit, what I'm potentially seeing is, yes, we are selling, we are short. If we have our Fibonacci just on these highs down to the lows, okay, as mentioned, we could see our targets of 21.20 being reached, okay, and if that is the case, what we could be doing is coming back first of all into this imbalance, okay, and potentially start looking for some buys. We could be having some buys at around 19.10 and then seeing price rise up. But we can see we're very, very high for silver, but structurally on the weekly, we can see critical level here where we broke. Delete this. Retested it. And we could see definitely this low taken out, right there at around 22.40, dipping into our region of around 20.70, and then seeing price possibly gain. Okay, so something like that, taking out these lows, and then from there possibly seeing price push back, okay, up to our 2.4 level. So silver on the downside, if you are wanting to short the market, silver looks like we are on a good downtrend. NASDAQ, as mentioned, that intraday 1550 pricing reached this week, hopefully. Euro USD, looking for that swing. We have that inverse head and shoulders, reversal pattern. We had a good key level. We could see price move to the upside. So watch that. GBP USD, same thing. We at that critical level, we could see price movement to the upside. That is if we have our dollar. As mentioned, if we have our dollar weakness that I'm seeing this week, then I'm going to be looking for longs on Euro USD, GBP USD, looking for longs on NASDAQ if we have that bigger pullback at the price point of around 15500, then we could see a potential buy here, and then price move up to 15550. Otherwise, we are taking out this high and then still seeing our price at 15550. So guys, keep that on the cards. We will be diving into new currencies as well this our next week and our next upcoming videos. So please stay tuned, lock into the channel, like, subscribe, whatever you need to do. And NFTs, very, very good article that we followed on. Again, the big banks, they're concerned about cryptocurrencies. China is locking down. They want to lock down cryptocurrencies. So always trade with caution when we're going into these markets. So guys, trade safe, keep well, and we'll catch you on the next video.